religion has played a big part in the Native American history and culture. When Christianity was introduced, it became something to believe and to hold on to.
There's a connectedness that's experienced, a sacred that brings community together, that makes a community what it is. There's a recognition that there's a divine greater than we are, a want to connect to that.
The Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference is a connection to the greater church and a connection to the Oklahoma Conference. But the community surrounding those churches, they kind of create a comfort zone because it's hard for Native Americans to leave their communities.
The Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference began in 1972. This designation was made just because people recognize the historic need for Native American people to continue to be together, to worship in churches due to language, culture, and of course our history.
We have 87 churches between Lawrence, Kansas, all the way down to Dallas, Texas, spread throughout all of Oklahoma. We are a church that's for all peoples, but in particular, Native Americans. We seek to offer a Christian witness through the Native American voice.
We currently have about 60 pastors and lay missioners who serve our churches. A third of our leadership is lay missioners, and the rest will be local pastors and elders who serve in various settings across the Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference. Our pastors represent about 15 to 16 different tribes, several who are still bilingual. You'll find churches in the rural areas where services are held in Choctaw language, Creek language, Chickasaw language, Cherokee language. All of our churches, if you visit, will express themselves through music, certainly through tribal hymns. I share with people often that Native American people have so much to offer to the general culture, not just our way of life, but how we view life and how we understand our values as Native American people.
Our conference puts emphasis on working with youth in the church and in our communities. We want to instill in our youth the stories of who we are as a conference, who we are as peoples who essentially brought Methodism to Oklahoma. Part of that is preserving the language, preserving our hymns, empowering our youth to not just lead tomorrow, but to lead today.
OIMC really helps out the younger generation because it provides a safe and welcoming experience to all the young people. We have to learn how to carry on these traditions, because if we don't, then it's gonna die out and be lost forever.
I served as the Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference Secretary for 15 years. For the most part, that was an unpaid position, but I wanted to be in service to the OIMC.
It's one of our greatest needs has been the low salaries in the Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference. Currently, right now in OIMC, we are the lowest paid pastors of any in our denomination. So we need to find ways to help support pastors, especially those with families, to go out to be able to freely do the work, the ministry, without being encumbered to say how we live day by day.
We have 3 different advances that people can make gifts to, and we have an endowment that we're seeking to build up. One of our advances goes to the Native American Children's Fund, and what that fund does is that it ensures that the children of our congregations have school clothes for back to school supplies so that they can engage in the learning that we desire for them. And then part of those funds also go to Vacation Bible School and help cover the costs for our local churches. And we're also working on growing an endowment that we hope will raise our base salary a considerable amount. And so we've set some goals towards that.
Our hope for folks who hear our story and folks who met us and folks who know who we are is that people will continue to support the Oklahoma Indian Missionary Conference through its financial giving, through its prayers, and also to understand the value that we have to United Methodist Church and to see that we're working hard, not just to spread the gospel, but to be an influence and presence in our communities and, of course, in the church at large.
It really helps from funding and support because it can keep us going. It keeps our church going so we can keep coming back because that church really means a lot to us.
If you would like to donate or find out more about our local churches, if there's a local church near you, or ways that you can get connected to the OIMC, you can go to www.umc-oimc.org, and there's a whole list of ways to get plugged in.